Welcome back to the I Love Ukraine podcast. I am Matt Lowndes filling in for Bernadette. I'm here with Natalie Massa. How you doing today?
Thank you so much for having me again. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, of course. It's been so much fun. I finally have the Ukraine sweatshirt. We finally match.
Yes.
It's been a lot of fun doing
Thank
this
you.
with you guys.
Thank you, Bernadette, for the purchase, for the donation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bernadette couldn't make it today. Thank you very much, Bernadette, for all your hard work. I know you've been sending out the weekly newsletters as well. That's been really awesome. Keep reading those if you're at home, and we'll keep making them and keep producing podcasts and keep doing everything we can. Let's get right into it today. Natalie, you were telling me a little bit earlier about how we are starting to get refugees now and how they are, assimilating into our community and into America in general. Tell me a little bit about what you've been up to in the past week and everything that's been going on with that.
Yes, so the refugee family came to our hometown, which is amazing, and iLoveUkraine.org is trying to work very hard to make sure that they're assimilating well, that they have everything they need. And it is not easy, of course, because of the logistics and other projects that we're working on as well. And but we have great news. A mother and two sons came over from Ukraine. Their father is left behind in Ukraine to hold strong. We signed them up. We teamed up with Southampton Town United Soccer Club, and they were very generous to offer free soccer practice to those boys. And yesterday and on Wednesday and Tuesday, actually, yes, Wednesday and Tuesday, the boys had their first practice, and it was fantastic. And their teammates were very welcoming, and the boys had the most amazing time. And we can share some pictures.
Yeah, as I'm sharing the pictures here, it reminds me of my childhood a little bit. Yep, as you can see the photos here. I'll go to the soccer game. You can see all the kids together. As you can see, it kind of brings me back to my childhood a little bit. You could see the Ukrainian kid right here meeting the other kids, and look at how happy they all are together. I mean, this is the first time in probably quite some time that they've felt like kids again.
Yes, absolutely. And I made a Facebook post and Instagram post about the boys being so excited and how thankful we are to Southampton Town United Soccer Club for their effort. And I mentioned that even though the boys didn't have cleats, they scored 2 goals. And we were very fortunate that Marine Dervin, she's a local, she reached out to me and she made a $200 donation to go to Gobbins Running Ahead store to buy the boys cleats and everything else they need. So thank you very much, Marine. Thank you so much for your generosity. And actually, I'm waiting to hear back from the mom. So hopefully after this podcast, I can pick them up and drive them to the store. So we will send you the pictures. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Sports has a way. I very into sports, grew up playing sports, and it has a way of bringing people together of all cultures. Soccer in itself is a language. You don't need to speak the same language. Once the ball's on the grass, you're playing soccer, and it's like I said, it's a different type of language, and for these boys to be able to feel like they're kids again. When I grew up, I played soccer out here for the East Hampton team, and we had kids from different Latin American countries come to America, and they joined our teams. They didn't speak a lick of English, but they were our teammates. They played soccer with us, and it's nice. It's comforting, and I can only imagine how they feel coming into this country. I know how big soccer is in Ukraine.
Yeah.
My favorite soccer team, Everton, has a Ukrainian player on it, and when the war started, it just so happens that they were playing another team, Man City. They both had Ukrainian players. The 2 players went out on their own instead of all the teams,
Oh, wow.
and they held up Ukraine flag together, and the crowd gave them both a full round of applause. I mean, people forget that these athletes right now, professional athletes, yes, they're soccer players, but their families are in danger.
Yes.
Their extended families, their friends are in danger. And yes, life has to move on, but just to help two kids, I can only imagine. And what was it like for the American boys and the other boys? How was that interaction like?
It was absolutely great. They were welcoming. They came over. They tried to introduce themselves. They had a great time playing games, practicing soccer. And then we're still struggling with logistics of transportations because the family is located in Saghar Harbor. So if somebody can help us with driving back and forth, that would be great also. Also, I found out that the boys don't have an iPad or laptop to do homework on. So right now they're enrolled in the online school in Ukraine and they're doing their homework on mom's phone. So maybe somebody who's listening to us, we can make an appeal for a used laptop or a used iPad. That would be a huge help for the boys to continue their online studies.
Yeah, and do they get to? I can only imagine what it's like leaving your father. I understand there's cultural differences, there's historical differences, and men have gone back from all over the world to go help and support and fight. You've seen it here locally.
Yes.
Have you? Do they get to stay in contact with their dad? Is there any form of contact that they're able to stay in touch with?
Yes, they're able to stay in touch. Phones and internet working in that region where they're from, which is great because large part of Ukrainian cities do not have internet right now.
And I know that it's just a few right now, but are there other Ukrainians that are planning on coming to the area anytime soon?
So iLoveUkraine is helping people in Ukraine to come here with the documents. And personally, myself, I am sponsoring two families to come over. And also, something interesting happened. An English second language teacher reached out to me, and she wanted to offer somebody to teach the language, which is absolutely amazing. So I'm pairing people who need help with English second language teachers. And on my way here, I actually got a call from another teacher through her network, English second language teacher. So I feel as if it would be great if whoever is willing to donate a few hours here and there to teach people English. It would go a long way, and people will never forget your kindness, because I look at the mom that we're helping with the boys here. Her name is Irina. It's very hard to be dependent on others. It's very hard for your boys to be taken from their normal lives. They're not going to school, they're not communicating with other boys, they're not having their normal childhood. And you could only see their happiness when after their soccer practice on Tuesday and Wednesday, how happy they were to play their favorite sport. And it's a very small thing that we can do for them. So if we could help them to assimilate better, so they can start living normal lives, like children would have their laptops to do their homework, not mom's phone. Mom doesn't even have a cell phone reception. She only uses Wi-Fi, so it's very hard for me to even communicate with her. And she doesn't speak English, and she's trying to have driver's license. So there are lots of logistical aspects that people who come to this country, they need help with. So if we can do just very little bit, each of us, it will go a long way. So thank you.
You moved to this country not during wartime, obviously. Tell me a little bit about how hard it was for you, but then even in comparison, how much harder it is for them right now, because they didn't plan for this. This was on the spot, and like you said, they need so many things, but they're also prideful people, and they don't just want to take and because there's it's part of it. It's, you're a prideful person even during travesty and during wartime. So explain that a little.
Well, it is hard. I came to this country 20 years ago and I had my master's degree in economics. And I came here and I couldn't say a word. I couldn't buy a hot dog on the street. And I couldn't make any new friends because I couldn't communicate.
Hmm.
And it was a very difficult, challenging, lonely time, but at the same time, I felt a great support, even though I couldn't speak the language. There were so many times that I used to live in Manhattan, so I had trouble on turnstiles, and people would just give me their Metro cards. Or I was at Dwayne Reed, I didn't know which bottle was a shampoo bottle, and
Hmm.
somebody would spend half an hour with me explaining I could find a shampoo bottle. So although I couldn't communicate, but I instantly felt that I belong here because America, it's a great country, absolutely kind people, and that's why every person in the world wants to live here because it's a country of dreams and opportunities. I didn't speak the language, and after 1 year, I enrolled myself to get a second bachelor degree to Hunter College, and I got another degree in accounting, which it was my always dream to go to an American college. So I had a fantastic experience.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's the dream country. People, when I travel, people say they always want to come to America. It's what it is, and but obviously this family and hopefully more to come. It was never their plan. Um, this happened. We're here, and our community is going to help them as much as possible. Um, with people like you who have been great in getting people together, getting all the different locals together, which has been fantastic to see. You've been sending us all these different invites you've gotten to all these different things because of
Thank
all the
you.
hard work you've been doing. Tell me a little bit about the school visit you went on, and then I'll share the photos while you tell us about that.
I feel as if it is very important to help people in need, and right now I am in the position to help people in Ukraine because I know people there and I speak the language. But I also feel it is equally important to raise awareness with our kids to make sure that our new generation becomes a generation of kind and responsible adults in the future. And I always enjoyed and always wanted to work with children. I never had a chance to work with children because I used to work in finance for 15 years. And I took this opportunity as an opportunity for me to go to schools and to talk about different projects and to talk about the war and democracy and to educate people a little bit about life in Soviet Union and what happened after Soviet Union collapsed and why people are standing up for their rights right now. And yesterday I went to the Southampton High School to it's called the Key Club, which is
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
community club. And I never went to high school here, and I was just blown away. It's fantastic room, amazing kids, doing good work, very proud of their work. It's just fantastic. I was very, very touched. We talked about different subjects, and the members of the Key Club would like to continue the donations drive that is still ongoing, and please help us if you can. Right now we especially need dry food because people that got relocated from eastern Ukraine coming back because they're running out of money and they want to be home. They don't want to live in a basement or in a school somewhere where all people live right now that left their houses. So they're coming back and there is no water, there is no electricity, no means to cook. So we are thinking about doing a dry food drive, baby food for formula, pasta, instant coffee, teas, dry cereal bars, anything you can think of. People will be very grateful.
Yeah, I mean, I think people in this country, it's hard to stay with it. As far as in America, you have this Roe versus Wade thing going on, and we need to constantly remind people that this is still happening. This is still going on. We have to do our part, not because we should, but because it's the right thing to do. So, are there any last thoughts you have before we wrap today up? And you could end in Russian.
So I just wanted to say as an update that tomorrow we're preparing another 2,000 pounds shipment to Ukraine. So hopefully it will be on its way very soon, and we will be helping people. And I will say a few words in Russian. Спасибо большое, что я сегодня здесь в студии. И мы говорили с Мэтью о том, что к нам приехала первая семья из Украины, из Тернопольской области, мама с 2 мальчиками, и наша компания iLoveUkraine.org им помогает устроиться здесь, чтобы они себя чувствовали не так одиноко, не так скучали за родиной, за отцом, который остался на Украине. И благодаря Soccer Club, футбольной лиги, это не лига, ну, футбольной ассоциации, которая называется Southampton Town United Soccer Club. Их взяли практиковаться с американскими мальчишками, и мы показывали фотографии, где их принимали в команду. Было очень трогательно, и мальчишки очень были довольны. И сейчас нам дали $200 на то, чтобы мы купили ребятам клиц, я не знаю, как сказать по-русски, специальные футбольные кроссовки. Так что сейчас после этого эпизода мы с ними поедем покупать кроссовки. Смотрите updates, новости на Facebook и Инстаграме. На Facebook мы iLoveUkraine.org, и на Инстаграме мы iLoveUkraine Charity. Спасибо большое. Слава Украине!
Slava Ukraini.